Hey everyone, welcome back again to the 80s Movie Den. So for this episode, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I still wanted to talk about movies, but I wanted to talk about specific type of movie, the baseball movie. There have been many baseball movies made throughout the years. There's some awesome 80s baseball films, and I will touch on those in this video. But I also have some baseball movies from other decades as well that I'd like to talk about. And I'd also like to talk about some 80s baseball movies as well as some other decades baseball movies that I'd like to add to my collection. So we'll get started. The great American pastime is baseball. I know that I believe that the most popular sport in the US is football, but baseball has such a rich history. Some of it controversial, but most of it is absolutely beautiful, and that's why I love it so much. I'm somewhat of a historian, and not just about baseball, but just about other aspects of popular culture and just the world in general. I love history. I think there's much to be learned from it, but there's much to marvel about too. That people so long ago managed to accomplish such great things and do it with so many less resources than we have. And that's what I admire the most about people in history, what they were able to do with so much less, and really less of a lifespan to do it in. But yeah, let's not go too deep. I just want to talk about baseball movies, right? So let's start with the 80s baseball movies that I have, which are just two, actually. But two of the best baseball movies, in my opinion, of all time. So we'll start with Major League. Major League, Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, and Corbin Burnson. This is a great movie. Extremely funny. Bob Uecker is in it, and he's an absolute riot in this film. But also some really good baseball scenes. Very well choreographed scenes. Some really cool stuff in this movie. Awesome. And then this is probably arguably my favorite baseball movie of all time. I can put that out there because I think it is. And it's Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams. The reason why I love this movie so much is that it's a baseball movie, and it talks about Joe Jackson and shoeless Joe Jackson, but it's much more than a baseball movie. It's a movie about relationships. It's a movie about damaged relationships. It's a movie about reconciling damaged relationships, getting second chances. Getting second chances at things in life, do-overs, and I think it's deep that way, and that's why I love it so much. But again, awesome movie, great acting, great cast. Amy Madigan, James Earl Jones, the late James Earl Jones, rest in peace. We lost him a couple months ago. And of course, Kevin Costner. Just an excellent movie, Field of Dreams. If you haven't seen this, you should. So Field of Dreams and Major League from the 80s. Bull Durham is another baseball movie that I'd love to get to add to my collection, and that's another Kevin Costner baseball movie. So, okay, so then we leave the 80s and we go into, oh boy, I'm thinking this is the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Well, it says 2005 here, so this is awesome. Blockbuster Video. Okay, 18th of April 2005. There's no price tag on it, but it's a Blockbuster Video, which is awesome. So this is Mr. 3000 with funny man Bernie Mac. The late great Bernie Mac, rest in peace. But this is great. So funny. Bernie Mac is just hilarious. It's funny because sometimes he's hard to understand with his speech, but you kind of hear what he's saying, and it's just the way he pronounces things. Oh, it's so funny. This is a great movie. Bernie Mac, Mr. 3000. Highly recommend that one. We'll leave this one for last. This is a fun one. This is another one of those great movies with good choreography for baseball scenes, you know, realistic scenes, and some really good acting. I don't know how much of the baseball parts that the actors played, but if they did play the parts, they did an excellent job. This is Freddie Prinze Jr., Jessica Biel, and Matthew Lillard in Summer Catch. Okay, so this is one of those late 90s, early 2000s, you know, these actors and actresses were in a lot of films back then. Jessica Biel was, yeah, she was kind of all over the place at the time. She was pretty hot in that time period. Freddie Prinze Jr., of course, he was very popular then as well. You know, a lot of teeny bopper movies that were being made in the late 90s, early 2000s. But this is a great movie. This is an underrated baseball movie. You know, obviously it focuses on his relationship with Jessica Biel, Freddie Prinze Jr. Him and his dad runs a landscaping company. Jessica Biel, she's in a rich family. Her dad's an egotistical snob, it has to be said. They usually they go to the Cape, where they summer at the Cape. Freddie Prinze Jr. is an aspiring baseball player. Him and his dad live there. His dad's got a groundskeeping business, and he actually cuts the lawn and does the landscaping for Jessica Biel's family. Of course, they fall for each other. Jessica Biel's father wants her to have nothing to do with him because, you know, he's the groundskeeper's son, right? What kind of a future is that, right? But anyways, yeah, great film, good story, good storyline, and the baseball's great in this as well. So highly recommend this one. And then the fifth and final movie, I thought I had more, but this is it. This is all I could find in my collection. One of my favorite movies of all time. I think I was 14 or 15 when this came out. 93. I would have been 15, so not too far off the age of these guys. And I'm wearing the jersey. Great movie. I gotta watch it once a year. It's one of those once a year watches. The Sandlot. These kids are hilarious. Some of these kids, I believe, this is their debut in acting, and all of them did an absolutely remarkable job in this movie. They are so hilarious. Hamilton Porter, the great Hambino, an absolute riot, that guy. You know, just every group of friends has one of those in it. One of those doesn't give a crap, is gonna start crap, and you just kind of get behind him, and you know, hope that he doesn't get your gang into too much trouble. But just such a funny movie, and every kid had just unique qualities and really cool stuff to add to the group. And of course, Smalls, you know, the classic line, "You're killing me, Smalls." There's t-shirts, there's hats. The one scene when they decide that they're gonna try out Big Chief, you know, like all the pros, and then they go on the roller coaster, or I don't know what ride they went on, and needless to say, that scene did not end well for any of them. But yeah, just a classic movie set in the early 60s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the relationship, the friendship between Benny and Scott is just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Benny takes Scott under his wing and helps him to fall in love with the great game of baseball, and they maintain their friendship right into adulthood. So pretty awesome, The Sandlot. If you haven't seen this, highly recommend it. Check it out. So that's it, the baseball movie. Just, classic. There's many of them. I have some of them here. I will get my hands on a few more in the future. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave comment down below. Let me know what your favorite baseball movie is. Maybe one that I haven't mentioned, maybe one that I don't have in my collection that I should check out. Hope you enjoyed the episode. This has been the 80s Movie Den, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.